Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to School of Gold. As Australia Day is approaching, I wonder if you know much about Australia and how it became actually a country. Well, in 1770, Captain Cook, who was a circumnavigator, found Australia by accident. And then he went back home and told all of his colonies, and in 1788, 18 years later, the first fleet came to Australia, captained by Captain Arthur Phillip. They thought Australia was such a unique place for all the prisoners to go to. It was also so far away for the rest of the world, because in England, all the prisons were full. So they thought, you know what? Let's go all the way to Australia and place all our prisoners there and make a little prison. They thought at the time that Australia was by itself, unlived. No one lived there. But when they arrived, they realized the indigenous Australians, the Aboriginals, have been living in Australia for 40,000 of years, thousands and thousands of years prior. But now, a couple of hundred years later, everyone is living in peace. In 1901, Australia became federated, which means it actually became a country with all the different states and territories working together as one. So 1901 is a very important date in the Australian calendar. There are different states in Australia. I wonder if you know them. Well, it is divided up. New South Wales being the most populated and the most well-known state in the country. The capital city is Sydney. Australian Capital Territory is actually where Canberra is, and that is the capital of the whole of Australia. Victoria is another state, and that is where Melbourne is. We'll go to down below and go to South Australia. South Australia is a very small city or state, and the capital city there is Adelaide. We continue going further around to Western Australia. Western Australia is our far largest largest state, and the capital city is Perth. Go to the top of Australia and go through Northern Territory. The Northern Territory, the capital city is Darwin, and that is where, down below, Uluru is. Ayers Rock, the very big, famous rock in the middle of our country. We'll go to the top, on the eastern side, Queensland. And the capital city of Queensland is Brisbane. And Queensland is very well known for its Great Barrier Reef. And if you go further inland and you go to the Gold Coast, that is where the party is. That's where the amusement parks are. Alright. In Sydney, which is one of the most well-known cities of Australia, it has the two most amazing landmarks, both built. You have the Sydney Harbour Bridge as well as the Sydney Opera House. The Sydney Opera House was built actually as seashells, and it's a very famous architect. And it was built in 1973. The Sydney Harbour Bridge was built many, many years ago in the 1930s. Australia has had also many famous sportsmen and sportswomen. In the Olympics, in the 1956 in Melbourne Olympics, there was a very famous swimmer called Dawn Fraser. Dawn Fraser was a fantastic swimmer. You fast forward the clock to the Sydney Olympics in the year 2000, we had, of course, Ian Thorpe, And also Kathy Freeman, who won gold in the 400 meters. I hope that has helped to get a bit of a background of Australia. Australia also has fantastic beaches who are also very well known. Bondi Beach and Manly Beach is fantastic for tourism. You also have Scarborough Beach or Fremantle Beach on the western coast of Australia in Perth. Okay, boys and girls, take care, and if you need any other important information on Australia, feel free to look it up on Google or just ask at School of